Trinidad and Tobago, we are back at the Breakthrough table and we are here with our next guests. They are two members of Voix Riches and we will talk about Voix Riches a little bit. Please welcome to the table Tiana Chandler and Gabrielle Alexander. Good morning.
Good morning. You got your pronunciation great.
Great, lovely.
That's always a great way to
start. Yes, because I'm watching him like, Tia, right, good. But anyway, so I've seen you all perform before.
Of course.
I've always been very impressed because it's various genres, right? I think the first time I saw you all perform was Parang. I think it was at probably at the UE Choral concert.
Probably.
You all came dressed from head to toe and you all delivered. And then I came to one of your concerts, I think it was last year, year before, and then I said, oh, they can do more than just, and it was absolutely fantastic. So tell us a little bit, and you'll have a concert coming up on Saturday, but we're going to get to that just now, but tell us a little bit about Voix Riches and why that name and how did it come about, really, really quickly.
Y'all want to get into the juicy parts one time.
Yeah, of course.
So, Voix Riches is actually celebrating 9 years since we formed.
Very nice.
Next week. I think it's the 14th is our 9-year anniversary, so our concert is just about a week before that. We actually started under the brand of SJC Voix Riches because at the time when we started, most of our members were SJC San Fernando alumni.
Okay.
So it was somewhat of an alumni group when we started. Yeah. We do have 1 or 2 members now who are not St. Joseph's Convent San Fernando alumni. So we did, of course, branch away from that, and now we are just Voix Riches. And we pretty much started back. Most of us were in school at the same time, singing together in the choir, doing the whole music festival, Sandfest, all of the choir things together.
Right, yes.
And our then music teacher, Miss Michelle Dorich, greatest soprano voice in San Fernando, she actually called up one of the members one day and she's like, girls, they're doing this particular song in the music festival. I think we can gather everybody back and enter. It was a song that we actually sang. That was Sweet Nightingale. We sang that song when we were in school as choir members. So she was like, they're doing it again. Okay. So we rallied up everybody. We had our little meetings and Voix Riches was born.
Yeah. Okay.
We won several categories at the music festival. That would have been 2016. Yeah, 2016 Music Festival. And we have been going hard ever since.
Okay.
We did a clean sweep at the next music festival, which would have been 2018. Won all of the special awards for best performances in the open classes. And since then, our primary season has been Christmas.
Yes, as is a lot of others. It's the most busiest time of the year.
It is the busiest time, but we have always loved Parang, specifically.
Right.
In convent, we had our start with Parang there, and it was only right that we revisit it as adults in our own group, creating our own space.
For sure.
So we usually have a very packed Christmas season with the Parang gigs in the malls, in dinners, schools, all over the country, and all different types of events. And a couple of years ago, it was 2022.
Yes.
Yes, we're in 2024 now. Yes, so 2022, we decided to have our first concert, Woman and Vibes, the first edition, right? And that was where we told everyone, the audience, the story of how we started from our St. Joseph Convent days to who we are now as flourishing young women of WIF.
Right.
And last year, we continued with our annual concert, Women and Vibes, The Greats, and we touched on a lot of the great music from different genres.
Right.
And this year, we thought it fit to bring it home to the season that we thrive in. And we are doing Women and Vibes, It's Christmas.
Right, because it is.
It is.
So how many members are there?
Right now, we are rounded off at 10 members.
Okay.
The membership tends to fluctuate a bit because, of course, everyone has different things going on, and we always welcome everybody in and out as they are able.
Right.
But right now, we are fully rounded out at 10.
Yes. Oh, we love an even number.
We love an even number.
For that choreography, 5-5, and you just go into the window of each.
Yes,
That's what it is. Listen, we love that. All right, so Gabrielle, tell me a little bit about your personal experience being in Voix Riches. You were SJC alum?
Yes,
okay.
SJC alum.
Okay.
So the passion for music and performance really was ignited there when I was in Form 1.
Okay.
We really got to blossom under Michelle Dorridge, and it was really outside of anything that was naturally my comfort zone.
Okay.
And from there, we all kind of organically had the shared experience of music performance, of course, a rivalry with all of the top schools, feeling like the underdog because we're from South and going up the highway, and you know. So we just had a lot of shared experience there. But my professional lane was sciences.
Okay.
So there wasn't really much that I can do creatively in that space, obviously, because it's clinical for a reason, right? So when I finished internship, luckily enough, Miss Dorridge would have invited us, and I was able to really get back into the passion again.
Okay.
And we performed in music festival. Also, that time we would have had the great experience of getting into the soca foray.
Yes, yes.
Because we were always very classical, very ordered, and then we get into the kind of freestyling form of soca.
Because you all did some recordings for who was it? Was it for Voice or something?
Ooh,
yeah,
we want a laundry list?
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's the one I saw. There's more?
Our first one actually would have been Second Star way back for Carnival
for
2016.
Kings and Queens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since then, we have done for Neil Iwer George, Young Brother,
Pretty,
Bungie Garland this season,
So
and we are waiting on a new release from Voice, which should come out for the 2025 season.
Okay. So, and this kind of brings me to my next question. So it's more than just a choir. It always seems to me like this is a performing group. For lack of a better, I always hear the word boy band and girl group. But this is like, because we are all women and hardback men. But this is like your typical girl group that does all sorts of different things because you all do choreography. There are a lot of things you all do a cappella. Right? Yeah. I think I would have, or at least minimal accompaniment, that sort of thing, and you all just burst into these harmonies. Okay, so 10 women. How does that split? Because I know there's one voice. She holds it down.
Our resident bass.
Like I know her and she's like yes, and I know who she is based on where the sound travels on the stage. Love her. But how does the harmonies? How does the harmonies develop? Is divided? Does it depend on the song, or is it a set thing? Do you have your set altos, your set sopranos, that sort of thing?
So in a typical choir, you would have your set soprano, alto, alto 2, soprano 2. We're only female voices, so you know. I like to refer to us as a vocal performance ensemble because you know we are diverse in that way, and it does depend on the song. Although everyone kind of sits in their general voice part. Soprano, soprano 1, soprano 2, alto 1, alto 2. There have been songs where we have had 8 parts and 10 parts and everybody's singing something different. And we have to balance that out with the different types of voices, how they blend and all of those things. And I don't know. It makes magic. It works.
Yes. We make it work.
It works.
And I mean, the name Voix Riches basically means rich voices.
It does.
Right? So the harmonies are very rich, especially, I could only imagine 8 parts. It's just, so good. And I guess there's some are there some sopranos that maybe switch back and forth from 1 to 2? Or there's some altos that switch back and forth from 1 to 2?
To be honest, sometimes it's hard to distinguish whether someone is singing an alto line or a soprano line because it just
It's just kind of like
It goes everywhere.
it's just in that middle.
It's just what part needs to be heard at this point. We need more voices here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who can do it?
Right.
Yeah.
But our process is pretty unique in terms of creating our music. We do allow everyone to have input into most of our arrangements.
Yeah.
So we have a very collaborative process and everybody gets to exercise their creative juices
Yeah.
Okay.
and contribute
Good,
to the
good,
harmonies,
good,
which is why we
good.
sometimes end up with 10 parts.
Because we
that-
can't decide what sounds best.
And then we're like, we'll try it all
We'll
together.
try all the
and then
things.
it's like, I like it. We have to keep all now.
Okay. Great. So
Yeah.
if we could just really pull up the flyer, Woman and Voix Riches presents Woman and Vibes. It's Christmas at the Southern Academy for the Performing Arts. Saturday, 9th of November, showtime is 7 p.m. Tickets are $200 available through all Voix Riches members. So you have 10 ticket outlets, literally, that
Yes.
you can get
Can't
from.
escape.
So exactly, what can people look forward to in this? Or what do you want people to walk away feeling?
What I thought of this
Besides,
morning.
it's Christmas.
Yeah. It's like when you have that first drink of punch or creme for the season, just warmth, comfort, familiarity. We have a great roster of songs from traditional, classical, that signals the birth of Christ, the whole reason for the season. But we also have, our pop hits that we know from Mariah Carey, Jackson 5. And of course, we can't forget that Trinidad and Tobago of itself is, our Christmas is like nothing else. So we also include our own parang, traditional soca parang, and it's just that first class of panchagram. That's what it
That's
is.
a very distinct.
that imagery.
That is very distinct because
I think it's a great
Yeah.
representation.
it is. It is. So, what are some of the things that you said? It's 9 years. 9 years is a long time, and then 10 is even longer. Where 10 is coming up next year. And I always compare 10 years or 9 years. That's like between the ages of 8 and 18. So like that's a certain
True.
sense of like growing up.
Oh, yeah.
In sense, what are some of the things that you all have learned as individuals who are here, but also as a group, and what has gotten better, and what are some of the things that you've learned through the journey?
I feel like one key thing is patience.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we have such a collaborative process and there are lots of opinions, lots of ideas, and sometimes all of them work, sometimes some of them don't.
Right.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
we really have to be able to listen to each other, give every point of view a fair chance,
Right.
and have the patience to go through that process,
yes.
Yeah.
to get the best possible sound. And I mean, I think it's been working.
Right.
Because our sound has been pretty steady and pretty much improving every year. And we have been able to foster so much creativity in the group. And I think some of the parts of the process is streamlining a bit so that we can get to where we need to be a little faster.
A little more efficient, yeah.
A little more
Yeah.
efficiently.
Yeah.
And I think, and Gabby can confirm for me that everyone has experienced their own levels of growth in that realm to be able to facilitate that so smoothly that, I don't know, some people will look at a group of 10 women and say, how are they doing that?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But we have managed to stay together. As you said, 9 years is a long time. We have managed to stay together and be respectful of each other
Yes, yeah.
and have the patience with each other to keep producing the kind of excellent music that we have been.
Okay. All right. And what goes into deciding? So you said it's more of a collaborative effort. What goes into deciding the repertoire?
We do have, especially for our concerts, our musical director is Crystal Joseph.
Okay.
She is
Amazing.
amazing.
Okay.
Instrumentalist
Big up Crystal.
with every,
Crystal.
she can pick up anything and everything, and she
Okay.
will play, and she kind of keeps us on track.
Okay.
For lack,
Ah.
for
Yes.
lack of a better phrase.
Like we said.
Okay.
When all the ideas come pouring in, it's like, okay, we're on this part of the song,
Yeah.
let's
Yes.
try this and go back and let's try it without. And she kind of helps to streamline that process a lot. And we do, I mean, it is still a collaborative process because of the nature of the group, but we do allow everyone to put forth their suggestions. And then we look at it as a whole and then say, what is the story we want to tell?
Right.
And
for
as Gabby rightly gave us that imagery, we wanted everyone to feel that first sip, that first essence of Christmas coming into Sapa.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think the program did what it needed to
For
do.
sure. For sure.
And I'm hoping that so many people in Trinidad and Tobago can experience that this Saturday with us.
Of course. So again, Woman and Vibes, it's Christmas at Southern Academy for the Performing Arts this Saturday, 9th of November, 7 p.m. Please don't be late. All in all, the Trinis only have a habit of reaching the concerts late.
We are starting
Tickets,
on time.
and these people start on time. Tickets are $200. You can also follow them on their Instagram and Facebook pages at Voix Riches. VOIXRICHES. Let's just make sure that we all spell that properly, and they have their email address. Follow them on their Facebook and their Instagram, and you can get more information from that. Tiana, Gabrielle, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us today.
Of course. And it was a fun experience. It was a fun experience.